What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into NXT No Mercy. This show was good from top to bottom. A very solid 2.5 hours of fun. This show was a very, very good show. So we're going to get into NXT from September the 27th, 2025. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Javon Evans defeats Josh Briggs. This match was really good. Javon showed a lot of fire and passion in this match. He sold a bunch of moves that he took from Josh Briggs very well. Josh Briggs ended up busting out a nasty clothesline from hell. The two guys, they brought outside for a couple times. Javon fired up a couple times in the match. Josh was talking trash and everything, trying to big bro Javon Evans in the match. So Javon ended up hitting a couple of corkscrew handspring kicks, which was nice in here. Josh had a nasty big boot. And the finish came when Javon Evans hit a running knee, and he hit a springboard cutter. Then Briggs went for the big boot. Then Briggs was about to go for the chokeslam. Javon reversed that with a cutter. Then he hit the OG cutter for the 1, 2, 3. Javon Evans wins. This match was really, really good. The crowd was super into it. Both guys did an amazing job. Even though I'm not a fan of Josh Briggs, I'm not. I'm just not. But I do like him kind of in small doses. So this was good. I think they're 1-1 now. They need to end their feud. I'm guessing on some random episode of NXT or ended at Halloween Havoc, which is going to be NXT's next pay-per-view on October the 25th. So maybe that's when they'll end their feud. But Javon Evans winning was the right decision, right call. Javon has had a busy weekend. He wrestled twice. So that's really good stuff there. And it seems like Javon Evans is going to get a push. And he's going to have, to wrestle Leon Slater in a couple weeks at Bound for Glory. So this was a really good match. Everybody enjoyed it. The crowd was super into it. So a really good way to start out the show. All right, moving on from that. Booker T and Vic Joseph, they recap about Kalani Jordan capturing the TNA Knockouts Championship at Victory Road the previous night. So good stuff there. Moving on from that, so breaking news. Laney Reed, she got injured when she was doing some in-ring training last night. She had a boot on her, I believe it was right foot. So she's going to be out for a little bit, maybe. Maybe she sprained it or whatever, who knows. Maybe she'll be back in a couple weeks to a month. We don't know. We wish her the best. So she's not going to be able to compete tonight. She's not medically cleared. This leads us into Sol Ruka. And basically, this essentially becomes an open challenge. And it was answered by the sexy Jada Parker. Got a really good reaction. Match was really good. So, towards the end of the match, Jada Parker got the upper hand. She hit the Hypnotic on the floor. Then, she gets into it with Zarya for whatever reason. Last Legend shows up. Zarya spears Last Legend. And then Sol Ruka hits the Soul Snatcher. 1, 2, 3. So this is fine. It does make sense. I'm guessing they want Sol to still remain a double champion, which is fine. I'm down with that. But I don't understand why Jada Parker had almost like dumb babyface syndrome. She could have just focused on Sol Ruka instead of just focusing on Zarya. But Jada's still continuing her feud with Last Legend, which makes perfect sense. And I do like this. So good shit here. I don't understand why Zarya has not turned heel on Sol Ruca. She needs to. I thought she was going to turn heel here, but she didn't. So we don't know when that's going to happen, but it needs to. Remember, when we got a vignette of Zarya all the way back last year, which I think she came into NXT around the middle of last year, so June or July of last year. But when we got those vignettes of her, we thought she was going to be a powerhouse, like a dominant force. And Zarya has not been that. She's just been a sidekick for a while, for months. And it's time for her to go heel. It's time for her to go heel. All right, moving on from that. Dark State had a backstage... Dark State showed up during Joe Hendry's backstage interview with Kelly Kinnaid. Dark State gives Joe Hendry a final warning. So it seems like, I guess they're going to set up an 8-man tag or something like that or whatever with Joe Hendry and the Dark State guys. Again, I don't really give a damn about Dark State. Dark State's been there for a while. They've not done much of anything, so it is what it is. Moving on. This leads us into Jordynne Grace defeating Mariah May, a.k.a. Blake Monroe, in a weaponized steel cage match. This match was fun here. So, Jordynne, she got the pink chair, put it in the ring apron. The crowd popped massively on the turnbuckle. The crowd popped massively for that. That was really cool. I mean, not in the turnbuckle, but the corner. And the crowd just popped like really, they really popped hard for that. That was great. There was a point in the match where Mariah May, she ended up tying Jordynne Grace's hands together with a a hair dryer. She got some scissors out of a box, and she started cutting off the hair of Jordynne Grace. That was awesome. I was like, holy shit, this is great. Really good stuff there. If this had been taking place in AEW, Jordynne Grace probably would have been stabbed in the face a couple times. Not hard, but, she would have stabbed Jordynne Grace a couple times with some scissors. If this had been in AEW, just for shock and awe factor. But, so Jordynne Grace, she got out of that. She started beating down Mariah May with a leather strap a couple times. Mariah May hit a nasty knee strike against the steel steps for a good 2 count. So Jordynne Grace is still fighting back. So then Mariah May tried to escape the cage, and Vic just said on commentary, "You can't do that. This is not, those aren't the rules of the match." So then they're on top of the cage. Mariah throws powder into Jordynne Grace's eyes. Mariah's going to go for a avalanche Canadian destroyer, but Jordynne Grace hits a nasty air raid crash to the table. Holy shit, for the 1, 2, 3. This was really, really good here. Jordynne Grace winning is the right decision. This makes sense. I think they're also 1-1 too, so we've got to end their feud at some point. I think it could be over because if I'm not mistaken, maybe Mariah has, because Mariah has beaten Jordynne one time, so they are 1-1. So, what's next for Jordynne Grace? Where does she go from here? I have no idea. Same with Mariah May. Obviously, their feud is not over with yet. Why would it be? They are 1-1. So, really good shit there. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. This match was hella fun. All right, moving on. So, Ava, she said she had multiple convos with Santino Marella following the big invasion angle that took place on NXT this past Tuesday. And then coming up on October 7th, it's going to be a special NXT versus TNA invasion special on the CW, which is going to be fucking awesome. There's going to be 2 Survivor Series style matches, one for the men, one for the women. And then Dark State, they're going to battle the Hardys in the winner take all. for the TNA and NXT World Tag Team Championships. And then Trick and Oba are going to run it back one more time with everybody barred from ringside. So good stuff there. This leads us into Last Legend. She got into a pull-apart brawl with Jada Parker. She was talking about the invasion and how she should be leading the team and everything. And then Jada Parker showed up. They had a good little mini pull-apart brawl, so I did enjoy that. That's fun there. Moving on. Kelly Kane had a backstage interview with Laney Reed. She's dejected about not being medically cleared to compete. Lola Vice shows up. Lola tells Laney to keep her head up because her time will come. Laney says that Lola has no chance of beating Jacy Jayne tonight. Lola says that she had no problem breaking Laney's leg. Lola says that Jacy doesn't stand a chance in Vice City. All right, moving on from that. That's fine. This leads us into Ethan Page defeating Tavion Heights. This match was okay for the most part. There were a couple nice moves in here by Tavion Heights. But yeah. So they were on the outside for a brief moment. Ethan Page then slammed Tavion Heights into the turnbuckle, on the top of the turnbuckle, which was nasty, a nasty spot right there. So then the finish was when Tavion got Ethan Page into a sleeper hold, and then he countered that being Ethan Page, into an avalanche power slam, and then he hit the twisted grin for the 1, 2, 3. That's fine there. It seems like Tavion Heights is not ready yet. Even Booker T mentioned that on commentary. He's just not ready yet. And I kind of agree. I do like Tavion Heights. He'll eventually get there, and he'll eventually be a champion. But I do think they're going to do title for title. And post-match, El Hijo del Von Wagner Jr., he shows up. He says that he has his eyes set on the NXT North American Championship, and that he's going to see Ethan very soon. So that's cool. So maybe he could be a part of that invasion show. Maybe it's going to be Dr. Wagner Jr. At Halloween Havoc. I don't know. I mean, it all depends. Maybe they're going to do another Worlds Collide event. Don't know. But that's fine. So I guess it's going to be a title for title at some point down the line. So that's cool there. All right. Good stuff. Moving on. This leads us into Kelly having a backstage interview with Miles Bourne. Miles says that he's glad he was able to put Lexis King in the rearview mirror. He's been trying to walk his own path, and TNA is his family. I mean, he's ready to go to war for his family. I mean, NXT. If TNA wants to show up, they'll be ready to defend their house. Okay, that's cool. So Matt Santana, he shows up via cell phone promo. He's making a promise that he's going to do everything he can to bring back the TNA World Heavyweight Championship to TNA. Mike Santana says that he's coming to NXT on Tuesday, and he's not coming alone. So that's cool. So I do like that. Moving on, this leads us into Jacy Jayne defeating Lola Vice to retain the NXT Women's Championship. This match was good here. Jacy Jayne looked very, very good here. So Fallon Henley, she got involved for most of this match. She allowed Jacy to throw Lola into the steel steps a couple times and everything else, and taking a couple cheap shots in. Towards the middle of the match, the referee ejected Fallon Henley. Lola got a couple of her spots in, like a nice German suplexes, a couple of the kicks that Mike Bailey and Naomi do. I don't really like those, but Lola makes them look perfect because she's, a former MMA fighter, so why wouldn't they look perfect? Because she's that damn good. Lola's family was in the crowd, so Jacy was talking to her, Lola's family and stuff, and mocking Lola. So basically, Lola, towards the end of the match, got Jacy into the rear naked choke. So Jacy got out of that. She hit a desperation roll-up. She got 2. Then, basically, Lola and Jacy Jayne are fighting on the outside. So Jacy hit a nasty knee strike in the match. Lola kicked out of that. So Lola hit the 305 when Jacy was trying to go for the rolling encore. They both spill out to the ring. Lola gets in the ring at the count of 9. Someone comes in a mask, attacks Lola from behind, and then it's allowed for Jacy to connect with the rolling encore for the 1, 2, 3. This makes perfect sense. I do like this. I'm interested in seeing who that was that helped Jacy retain. My guess is that it could be Laney Reed, maybe, but I don't know. We don't know who that could be. But maybe we'll get the reveal on Tuesday, and I am happy for that. Really good stuff there. It seems like Lola Vice will get her time to shine in the sun. I thought it was going to be... I thought it was going to be here because of the fact the matter is they gave her some really good vignettes for the past several weeks in the NXT. You know, they gave her backstory about her parents, her mom and dad and everything, and how much her culture means to her. Her family was in attendance, like her mom, her pops, her sister, and one of her best friends were in attendance. So I thought they were going to have Lola win there, but it didn't happen. So it is what it is. It's fine. I got a feeling that they're not done with Lola and Jacy. They're not done with that by a long shot. So maybe Lola will win at Halloween Havoc. So maybe that's the plan. Maybe they want to have Jacy have a decent reign and then, you know, drop it at Halloween Havoc. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Moving on. Moose, he says that he's coming to NXT this Tuesday. He's going to bring some total nonstop anarchy. Moose wants to prove 3 things. 1, he's the face of the franchise. No. 2, I always trust the system. No. And 3, TNA will always be the superior brand. No. TNA needs help. Even with this partnership, and I'm a big fan of TNA, even with this partnership with NXT, TNA still needs help. Why? Because that roster is so damn thin. Moving on. Matches for this week coming up on NXT. Jada Parker and Last Legend. And then Santino and Ava, they'll be picking their teams for the 2 NXT and TNA Survivor Series matches at Invasion on October 7th. So good stuff there. Main event of the evening. Ricky Saints versus Oba Femi. Ricky Saints defeats Oba Femi. Yes, the ruler has been vanquished. I will say that again. The ruler has been vanquished and dethroned. This match was very, very good. Oba dominated this match. He big broed Ricky in this match. You know, did a bunch of power moves, suplexes, nasty European uppercuts in this match. He threw Ricky around like a rag doll a couple times in the match. Ricky was able to fight back. He got a couple spots in. Oba basically worked on the back and ribs of Ricky throughout the match. Ricky hit a nasty spear in the middle of the match. Oba kicked out of that. The match continued. So they were on the outside, and Oba was going to go for the pop-up powerbomb. Ricky reversed that into the DDT. He did another DDT on the apron, came back again, hit another DDT, because Oba was going to go he hit another DDT. Oba kicked out of that. Oba then hit Ricky in the chest. It was like a gunshot going off, which was fucking awesome. Oba hit a fall from grace. I thought it was over right there, but Ricky kicked out. Oba threw Ricky into the turnbuckle. He went for another fall from grace, but Ricky countered that with a DDT, and then he hit another swinging DDT for the 1, 2, 3. And Ricky Saints is your new NXT champion. This was fucking awesome. The crowd erupted. I was happy. I was extremely happy when this happened. This was great. This makes perfect sense. Clearly, this was the right decision here. Oba will definitely get a rematch, probably at Halloween Havoc. And then after Halloween Havoc, I could see Oba probably going to the main roster. Maybe not by the end of the year, but probably early next year he'll go to the main roster maybe. But Oba being in the chase position makes perfect sense. This is great. Ricky winning, man, was the icing on this cake. It was the cherry on top of this, ice cream sundae. Very, very good shit here. Thoroughly enjoyed this match. This match was great. This was excellent. Ricky Saints winning was the right decision. So this was a very good premium live event for NXT. No Mercy was very solid. The main event was great. Jacy Jayne retaining was cool. I'm interested in seeing where they go with that. I'm looking forward to the Dr. Wagner Jr. and Ethan Page stuff. Javon Evans, I'm looking to see what he's looking to do. I'm excited for the Javon Evans and Leon Slater match at Bound for Glory. That's going to kick fucking ass. The Invasion stuff is going to be cool with TNA. That's great there. So this is a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But what did you guys think of No Mercy? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.